Hey guys, welcome to my shop once again. I was watching this video and I'm building some cabinets right now, a whole bunch of them. This is where I stack all of them. But I have to make these cabinets to install them. And what I'm doing is I was on YouTube looking for, I know how to scribe, but I was looking for a better way of scribing. And so while I was looking, I saw this guy. I don't know his name, but I think his channel is called Inner Carpentry or Interior Carpentry or Interior Carpenter or Inner Carpenter. I think it's Inner Carpenter. I hope I got it right. But he was scribing with one of these knives. He just used a block and he put the knife up on the block against the block, and then he scribed and then he cut. I thought this is, you know, a way that I've never tried. So I'm like, I don't have one of these knives. So I went on my favorite shopping site, Amazon, and I saw it. Look at that price right there. I don't have that much money to invest in one right now. So I started thinking, and I came up with this. It will work the same way, and it's a marking knife that I made. What I made it from is just a reciprocating saw blade that I've had laying around in the box. So I'll show you how I made it. So the first thing I did, I got me my blade, and I gotta cut it off. Cut all the teeth off of this. So what I did, I got me a piece of plywood. Anything straight will do. And I just put the blade there. And I line the teeth up with the edge of this. So when I cut it, I'll get a straight cut. Then I just clamp it down. Then with my grinder, with a cutoff wheel, I cut along here. Now this is for grinding, but I use a cutoff wheel and I cut that like that. Then after that, now let's say this is my blank. I use a file and I straighten the edge right here. Now remember, this is my blank right now because I don't want to ruin another saw blade. So I got this to be 5/8 wide after cutting off all the teeth. Then I got a reference point, and then I mark the center, and then mark 5/8 up. Use a straight edge. Well, first I square it. After squaring it up, I use a straight edge and I just connect the dots. I then went back to the grinder, the grinder, and I cut that off. And I ended up with I ended up with this. So I cut that off. And then, after cutting that off, I grabbed my measuring tape and I just measured 1/8 up and then measured 1/8 up here and square it again. I hope you're able to understand this process. I'm just not able to ruin another blade. So from this reference point, I just connect the dot again. So connecting these dots, they give me my bevel. So then I grab my grinder again and I put the blade with the yellow tape in my clamp and I clamp it down. Then I use the grinding wheel in my grinder and I do a rough grinding, beveling the edge right here to get my blade. After that, I grab my file and with it clamped down, I just, file it to get the bevel. After I get the bevel and I feel like a burr, I knew it was, sharp. After that, I grab a piece of glass and with a piece of sandpaper, I just pass the blade on the sandpaper to get the burr off of it. And then I just, just lightly pass it like that and like that a few times, and this thing is very sharp. So now if I want to mark something, I'm going to show you something on the miter saw, a trick of how not to get tear out on the bottom of the piece. And I want to use this as my reference part, and I just mark it, and there's my mark. Now if you're gonna cut it on the miter saw, you just transfer the line to the other side, and that will help you not to get tear out on the other side of the piece. So now here I am at the chop saw. First I'm going to cut this side, which doesn't have that line on it, and I'll show you the difference. Now though it has a zero clearance, it still come out like that, where it's like, torn at the back. You can always sand that out, but here is with the scribe line. You just want to line it up with the edge of your blade. See? A nice clean cut on both sides. And that's, this marking knife worked really good. And thanks to Inner Carpenter, or I don't really remember what his name of his page or his internet, or I don't remember the crap. I don't remember the name of his channel, but I think it's called Inner Carpenter or Inner Carpenters. He's really good, and I invite you to watch his videos, because that was a good tip using this kind of marking knife to scribe. And thank you for watching. I hope that this little tip of how to make this marking knife help you. Take care. Have fun woodworking.